Today on Two Brew Tuesday, we're drinking some pale ales.
Two Brew Tuesday, drink two beers, yeah! Drink two beers, it's Two Brew Tuesday.
Hello, my beer drinking friends, and welcome to another Two Brew Tuesday. I'm your host, Andy, and on today's episode, we are going to drink a couple of pale ales. First up, we have a collaboration brew. This is actually called Cervecerias IPA. This is a beer that was done as a collaboration for the Surf Suds Beer Festival 5th anniversary. It's a pretty exclusive beer. It was available only at the festival. You may have seen our previous video in which we talked to the three breweries that made the beer, and it was only available there. I was lucky enough to get a can to try with you guys today. It was brewed at Island Brewing Company, but it was also a collaboration with Rincon Brewing and Brew Lab. Those guys are all located in the Ventura area. So if you have not heard of an XPA, it's a style that was, I would say had a lot going for it in like the early to mid 2000s. And in my mind, it was kind of like the precursor to the Session IPA. It's characterized as, a very light colored beer, and also having sort of that IPA kind of hop aroma. So yeah, right off the front in the nose, I'm getting a lot of pine, a lot of citrus, even a little bit of tropical fruit. But the other thing that really characterizes this beer is, again, it's that super light color. So it's almost exclusively base malt. So it doesn't have any of those caramel notes. It's just got a light grainy character to it in the nose. The color, it's got a pretty good clarity, nice yellow, very light colored. It had a little frothy white head. Yeah, it's really nice. It's got a really firm bitterness, just a bare amount of malt sweetness to balance all those hops in there. Finish is pretty dry, very drinkable, great for the beer fest kind of weather. It's hot and sunny outside. This will definitely quench your thirst. I can see pairing this guy with, some pizza, some burgers. This is definitely, good beer, for just your normal beer drinking foods. That's really nice. So our second beer is coming to us from Melvin. They're out of Wyoming, in Jackson actually. They actually began brewing on a 3-barrel system, really tiny, but they've won a ton of awards for their IPAs and their American Pale Ales. So they just recently expanded to a 30-barrel system, and this is actually their Melvin Hubert. They actually call it an MPA. You're thinking, what the hell is an MPA? Well, there's no such thing. It's really just their version of an American Pale Ale. It's very heavily hopped from what I've heard. I'm gonna crack that guy open. So yeah, looking at this guy, also, very similar, very light colored, big frothy white head, lots of bubbles on this guy. I can tell it's gonna have a lot of carbonation. So this also has a really strong hop aroma, probably more than you're expecting in most American Pale Ales. I would say it almost verges onto that IPA category. This beer actually did win a gold medal at GABF last year. Yeah, so the hops that I'm getting have a ton of citrus, a ton of pine, but also like a big tropical fruit note to it as well. Yeah, and the flavor's coming through that way too. I mean, I'm getting sort of a guava pineapple in those hops with, again, sort of a firm like back current of the pine notes. Yeah, this beer is all about the hops, and it's got just a tiny bit of a caramel sweetness in the malt. It finishes, again, pretty dry. This beer checks in at, I believe, 6%. So it's definitely pushing those limits on an American Pale Ale. I could see this beer also pairing, with your typical burgers and pizzas and those kind of things. I could also see it going really well with some spicy food. Those hops really would cut through and help you, refresh your palate before you take another bite. That is a really enjoyable beer, though. I'm giving that guy a big thumbs up. So those are our 2 beers for 2 Brew Tuesday. I hope you guys enjoy this video. We've got a lot more content, so if you can, make sure you subscribe to our channel. You can also find us on Facebook and on Instagram. And until next Tuesday, everybody, cheers!